Hello, this is Jennifer Brown. Welcome to my sewing room. In this video, I'm going to be giving you step-by-step directions to make the Wonder Wallet by Lazy Girl Designs. The Wonder Wallet is a perfect size to hold an ID, a debit or credit card, folded bills, and even a coin pocket for loose change. This is a great wallet to use when you need to go somewhere, but you don't want to carry around your whole purse, a big wallet, or a bag. For example, going to a high school football game. You can have everything that you need in this small wallet and then put it into your pocket. So let's get started. Feel free to pause the video as we go so that you can work on your wallet at each step. Before we start sewing, we need to have the fabric cut to the correct dimensions. We can make 2 Wonder Wallets out of a fat quarter of fabric, or we can use scraps. But we need to make sure that we're using 100% cotton material. Something that is thick or stretchy would not work well for this project. We're going to cut the cover 12 inches by 5 inches. Pocket number 1 is 4.5 inches by 5 inches. Pocket number 2 is 5.5 inches by 5 inches. And then pockets 3 and 4 are both 6.5 by 5 inches. So if you're using a fat quarter, start by cutting 5-inch strips and then go back and cut out the correct dimensions for the pockets. For the first step, we're going to make the cover. Fold the cover piece in half and then take a ruler and a marking pencil. We're going to mark 2 3/4 inches from the fold. Take your pencil and make a mark. And then do the same thing on the other side from the folded edge, 2 3/4 inches up, and make a mark. Now, when we go to the sewing machine, we're going to sew with the edge of the presser foot against the edge of our fabric, making sure to backstitch at the beginning and end. We're going to sew from the folded edge to the mark. And then we're going to do it on the same way on the other side, folded edge to the mark. Let's go do it. Now we need to make a small snip at the end of the seam, right where we made our initial markings. Make sure to not go too close to the seam, just right here in the seam allowance. This will allow everything to lay flat when we turn it inside out. Go ahead and turn your cover inside out. You can gently use a pair of closed scissors or shears to gently poke the corners out. And then make sure it all lays flat. Now you'll need to go to the iron and make sure to give it a nice clean iron. And then you're going to go to the sewing machine. We're going to do a top stitch. So we're going to start here using the inside edge of our presser foot against the folded edge and sew down. Make sure we put our needle down and we're going to turn our corner and go down this way, put our needle down, turn our corner and go this way and then end here. Make sure that you backstitch at the beginning and the end and turn your corners properly. Let's go do it. We are almost done with the cover. We need to pin Velcro to the cover so that everything will close when it is time. So first, take your cover and decide which side you want to be the front and which one you want to be the back. So I want this to be the front and this to be the back. So put it front side down, and so that the inside is facing up. Take a ruler and you're going to measure out to find the center. So the center is about right here. And measure up 1/2 inch from the edge and make a mark there. And then you need to center your Velcro according to those marks so that the Velcro is right in the center of your cover. Put a pin in, or maybe 2, depending on what you feel you need. And then you're going to go to the sewing machine and we're going to sew the Velcro down by sewing a box around the Velcro, making sure that we backstitch beginning and end, and then turn all of our corners correctly by putting our needle down. Let's go. Set your cover aside for now and grab your pocket pieces. It's very important that you keep your pocket pieces with the 5 inches going wide or horizontal instead of vertical, because if you accidentally get one mixed up, especially the smaller piece, then it'll mess you up in the long run. So make sure it's still 5 inches going horizontally as you're working on this step. For each pocket piece, you're going to turn the top down and you're going to fold it in half and iron it down. So every piece gets folded in half and then ironed. And these are going to be the pockets for the wallet. The next step we're going to do is to top stitch each of these. So let's fold them all down really quick, making sure that it stays at 5 inches wide instead of tall. Match up the bottoms so that they're nice and even. You don't want to take any shortcuts, because if you take a shortcut on any step, the further you go along, the more trouble it's going to cause you. So now you're going to go to the sewing machine, and for each pocket, you're going to do a top stitch. So you're going to go to the machine and close to this edge here, you're going to sew. Make sure you backstitch at the beginning and the end. You could use the inside edge of the presser foot as a guide here so that you can sew a line right here. This is going to be visible in the final product, so you want to make sure that it is nice and straight as you're sewing it. Okay, let's go. Now take your small pocket. We need to sew the other piece of Velcro onto this pocket so that we can attach it to the cover piece that we sewed the Velcro on already when it's time. So just like the cover, you're going to take your ruler and find your center mark. So this one is 5 inches, so we'll be at 2.5. And you want to go 1/2 inch from the folded edge right here. Take your Velcro, line it up, and put your pins in again so that you can hold it down. And then the same way that you sewed the first piece of Velcro on, you're going to do this again. Go around the corners, turn your corners correctly, and make sure you backstitch at the beginning and end. Let's go do it. Take pockets 3 and 4 and line them up on top of each other. Make sure to match the sides and the bottoms and the top. You're going to take your ruler and your marking pencil again, and we're going to mark 1 inch from the edge. This is going to make the coin pocket so that there's a little bit less of an opening here so that the coins won't fall out as easily. We're going to go to the sewing machine again, and we're going to sew the 1 inch section on each side, leaving the opening so that we can still put coins in, but we have the sewn areas on both sides. So we're going to start at the sewing machine, and we're going to sew right over the top stitching that already exists, back stitching at the beginning and end to the mark, and then stop, and then start again at this mark and go all the way down to the bottom. Now we have all of the pieces to make the Wonder Wallet ready. We have the cover with the Velcro, pocket number 1 with the Velcro, pocket number 2, and then pockets 3 and 4 are sewn together to make the coin pocket. Layer each of the pieces in this order to assemble the Wonder Wallet. Pockets 3 and 4, pocket number 2, pocket number 1. Make sure that you're lining up the bottom and the edges nice and even so that everything lines up. Now, this next part, you're going to take the cover, make sure that your pocket number 1 Velcro is facing up and the cover Velcro is facing up. So it doesn't make sense, but do it anyway, because right now it's all inside out. So cover side up, or cover with Velcro side up, make sure that your edges and bottom are nice and neat, and then very carefully you're going to flip this over because it's easier to sew on this side of the wallet. Take some pins and put your pins in. You're going through a lot of layers, so be careful. Put a couple more pins in around to make sure everything stays safe or stays straight and where it's supposed to be. We're going to go to the sewing machine and sew this together. We're going to start here, right at the edge of the cover and the pockets. Make sure to backstitch really good. Use the edge of the presser foot and the edge of the fabric as your guide. Sew down, turn your corner, sew all the way down the bottom, turn your corner, and come up the other side, ending right here where the cover is, and make sure to backstitch really good here. Let's go do it. Here's the wallet sewn together. Now we need to clip the corners so that when we turn it right side out, everything will lay flat. Make sure that you don't cross the seam, but clip the corners. And even up here, you can go at an angle. Just make sure you don't cut anything that you're not supposed to be cutting. So just the corners. Okay. At this point, I also like to double check, just make sure that you've sewn everything on this bottom seam here. And then you're going to turn the wallet right side out and double check that you didn't miss anything or that you didn't skip a layer on those edges there. Take a pair of closed shears and poke your corners out. Very important, makes it look nice and neat whenever they're all poked out. Just like this. Very good. And then your Wonder Wallet will all match up, and you'll be able to close your Wonder Wallet and the Velcro should match up perfectly. So there is your Wonder Wallet, just the right size to put in your debit card, your ID, and maybe a folded dollar bill or two and some coins. Some variations that you can do to a Wonder Wallet for maybe more advanced students would be to add a zipper to the coin pouch using your center zipper method that you learn in Fashion 1. And you could also add snaps instead of the Velcro. And then you could add a button to the top, this little princess button, but you could add any kind of button to cover the Velcro area if you wanted to. And then this one also has a little wristlet that I made, and you can add in a little key ring holder right here to the top there. So you can follow some other tutorials for those items there and see what you can do with your Wonder Wallets.